Excellent. Welcome to day 3, our evening session of the Sing Your Heart Song Summit. I am just really delighted to have had this experience and to continue to have this experience where we are all opening our hearts and experiencing such incredible moments where we hear the song playing in our hearts, and to bring love and joy and music.
Lots of music. Sorry. The one thing you should never do, right? All right. There we go.
To our evening is Diann Alexander. And Diann is bringing her wonderful crystal bowls, which create such incredible environment for us. Diann is a voice teacher. She's a confidence coach. She's an energy code certified master trainer, and she is an Amazon best-selling author of Leverage Your Expertise. She empowers you to freely communicate your heartfelt message with confidence and authenticity. Diann's joyful way of being and the transforming vibrations of alchemy crystal singing bowls assist speakers, presenters, and singers create confidence, clarity, and audience connection. From stage fright to stage might, Diann helps awaken your authentic voice. Please welcome Diann Alexander with her presentation, Creating Confidence to Share Your Heart Song. Over to you.
Thank you, Steve, Olivia, and Irma. Hello, everyone. I am always so delighted when I get a chance to share these beauties with you. And I wanted to share with you because this is particularly about bringing your heart song out, what it may particularly be. And mine has been for years now, and everybody said, you can't do it, it's not going to work, is to combine my love of teaching singing, my love of performing with these beautiful crystal bowls with energy work. And they said, it's too woo, it's not going to go, people aren't going to like it, they're not going to know what market you belong into, yada, 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 yada. And I persisted. And what's happening is the way is opening. The way is opening because I have so much passion for this. And the joy I feel that comes down from here lets me know that regardless what they say out there, whether it's going to work or not work, it's going to work because there's that love, there's that spirit, there's that connection to your inspiration. And so what I love to do is to, through the doors of developing confidence, is to really get into what is our creativity, what's in the way of our creativity, and how can we get it out. I want to share a little bit about the bowls, play them a little bit, then go back into talking about a few tools that maybe if you're, oh, I really want to get that out, but I don't think I can, that might assist you a little bit further. Now, why crystal singing bowls? And you might think, oh yeah, she's woo, Well, crystal has been used for years in electronics because it has this very even vibration. It's steady, 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 steady. They can depend on it. Well, we're also crystalline. We're 80% water. Hello. So if we have a day that's kind of cattywampus and we're not feeling too good, our own center is a little wobbly. It's not really feeling solid. And when you hear something beautiful like one of these, just kind of notice what happens to your system. Now I can see by looking at your faces, you went, oh, because it's not your head that's going, oh, that's interesting, is it going to calm me down? It's your whole body going, oh, yes, please, I want to be even, and oh, that feels so nice. It's like this calming agent, this sonic calming agent for your whole body, and all you had to do was listen, just be open and listen. I'm going to have fun today and just talk about what feels like the most fun things to talk about. Did you know you have 3 brains? We have the one that everybody thinks we know about, that's smart, that says, oh yes, we have to do this today, we have to do this today, and I am this and I am that. And it doesn't think anything else lives down here. But what did you just experience? Wasn't most of it down here? I mean, you've got a few buzzes up in here, but most of what you experienced was down here. So if you haven't been, I would like to introduce you to the heart brain and also the gut brain, which is your enteric wisdom center. And if you've done any sleuthing on that, you know, the vagus nerve and the enteric wisdom center has so many more nerve cells in it, it can actually operate by itself without this one. So there's a whole lot of wisdom down here, collecting a whole lot of information that we can use. And it's when you go into a room and someone's in a party, can you tell how they feel? Yeah. And do you gravitate to the one who's going, or do you gravitate to the one that's going, hi, I feel great today? And how do you know? Did somebody tell you? Or did you feel it? And did you think it? Or did you feel it in a place in your body? So I submit to you a new job for your brain. It's not the bad guy, it's a good guy. We need it. It does all kinds of cool things for us. But it's more like, have you ever seen a family where the kid runs the show and the kid's running amok and the parents are going, what do you want to do, dear? And it's really kind of, oh my goodness, please no. That's our brains with us. So if we can give the brain a job, here honey, I want you to help me. Translate this feeling, translate this feeling, because these two don't speak in English. So once your brain is on, oh, this feeling, what does it feel like? Where does it feel like? Oh, I better get some breath down there. What does this feel like? Where is it feeling? Oh, okay. Now you have a whole lot more input as to what you want to do, as to what you want to hear, as to what you can feel. So my talk to you today is on, I'm going to talk in some mental stuff because they're important, such as language. You know, you should never say not. You say don't tighten your jaw, you're going to get a tight jaw. You say loosen your jaw, you'll get a loose jaw, because the subconscious mind filters out the don'ts. But what I want to invite you today in is this sensation of what do you feel? And to start to notice, make your brain and your mind's new job to really, really feel what's going on inside the body. Such as when you felt, here's another little beauty, one of these, just notice, where does it feel in your body? Is it a different place? Is it the same place? Just kind of notice. It's so much fun. And just for comparison, so you don't think too much here, do more feeling. This one is called a grandmother. It's grandmother because it has quartz and iron, so it's very grounding. But just notice what you feel. This is an entirely different note. Did it strike you differently? Did it put you in a different place? I'm really curious if you want to type in the chat, or Olivia will field it for me. Did you feel that one in a different place than where you felt this? And trust me, I've got something fun to tell you about this. Or you can just raise. Did you feel it in a different place as the other? Can you read whatever that said?
First one. Yeah, the first one. You can feel it throughout.
Mm-hmm. And was there a change with the second one?
Someone's commenting, I felt it lower in my body than the first one.
Isn't
that was
amazing?
From Susan. Yeah.
Yeah, terrific. This is a very high energy time of year. The holy days from November through January. Pretty much every civilization has their own celebration of light in some way. And during this time, the energy is very, very high. So I love to use these bowls because they raise the energy up in that space where you feel them differently. It's a whole different feeling. And when things are a little catastrophic or cattywampus, then these are more grounding. It like brings you deeper into the body, more into the earth. So depending what you want to do, you can really have like a set of meditations with these bowls which ground you, or a set of meditations with these bowls which uplift you. And it's going to be whichever is the most that you need at the moment, you know. So it's pretty fun with that. But I'm glad that you noticed it. So with these three brains, the way we connect them is, of course, to get the mind feeling, noticing what you're feeling. And this is something that people really do well with once they get over how silly it is. But our brain has its ideas about what things are. It's from where you have been, and it does what you know, all up and through here. However, once you start going down into these feelings, we open up into possibility that we don't even know. So when we're talking about creativity, I love the sentence, okay, what's possible? I wonder what's possible. And if you find your mind going, oh, I'm not going to do that again, we can't do that, I'm not good enough, we can't do that, you have a choice point at that moment. If you start noticing yourself going into that negative self-talk, I'm not good enough, I'm scared, someone's going to laugh at me, which instantly are the really big fears that people have. Speaking is number one, but what if they laugh at me? What if they don't like me? What if I'm not good enough? What if I let someone down? All of those are huge. And so the first person we need to uplift and support is us. And how can we do that if we don't know who we are or what we're feeling? So in these ways of bringing your brain all the way down into your body and feeling, what are you feeling in your heart? What are you feeling in your middle section? What are you feeling in your breath, in your belly? Breath is where I want to go with that. You start to get aware of, oh, I didn't know I had this tight thing here. So just for a moment, if you could put your hand on your lowest belly and just take a breath through your nose and see what you feel. It's going to be calming because it's the opposite. Let's talk about fight and flight for a minute, because when you're nervous, that really is the key monster. And if we can talk about the anatomy of that, everything else I'm going to tell you are going to be tools to help get you to a different space. So when our system feels threatened, we're going to tighten our neck, drop the breath, all energy diverted to the limbs so that you can fight, you can run away, or you can freeze so they don't see you. And if that happens, there's a trap door in your brain that goes from creativity and love, and that goes wham, and it slams shut so we can move into emergency mode. Well, when it does that, like when you're nervous or you're worried someone's not going to like you, if you're going to be good enough and all of that sort of thing, when you're how can you remember your words? How can you connect to the people? How can you even breathe to remember those things? So I'm going to give you a couple quick tips. Here's one. I want you to tighten your neck as tight as you can. Okay? Now try and inhale. It's really hard. Now loosen your neck as loose as you can. Now, while you're moving, try to inhale. You have just started on the very first step of releasing fight and flight. Then, two, to put your hand on your belly when you move your neck, and notice how deep you can get that. The slower the breath comes in, the more calming it is. And these are things you can do like in an instant when you're feeling nervous. There's another thing about play. I have so many things I want to share to you, and they're coming out all at once. But play is the antidote to this voice that goes, meh, 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 meh. That voice, the ego voice that goes, says, you can't, you're not good enough. So I think it's made up of a whole lot of shoulds we've had our whole life, and we stop questioning them after a point. But it's meh, 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 meh. So when you notice it's going off, I've named mine so I can notice it better. I call it Mr. Snot Bubble. So when I notice it going off, I know it's not me because I'm in the present. I like to play. I like to sing. I like to dance. I love to connect with people. I love to uplift. And this is not what I love to do. So here's the key. It's not just noticing, but the moment you notice it, we need to change the energy right away. So if you can change it by doing something celebratory, it is like night and day. It stops quickly. So I have a celebration cheer. Mine is really goofy. Some people just do a little thumbs up or something. Mine, I waggle my butt and go, yay me! It makes me laugh so much instantly. Instantly, you change. So how can you stay in this, I'm nervous, if you're going, yay, me, or, hey, I'm cool, I'm cool. It can be a little one, but I invite you, the more senses you can get involved in changing that energy that's contracted to expanded, the quicker your release is going to be to allow the real you, your real creativity to come out. I remember I used to spend hours on the neighbor's piano. I wanted a piano myself, and my folks wanted to be sure I would play it before they would invest in it. They weren't, all that wealthy. And I would get lost in the piano and I'd play for hours and hours. I didn't have any lessons. I just explore it. And there wasn't any right and wrong. I just played. I'd make thunder on the low keys and rain on the top keys. And I'd be down there for hours and hours and hours. And it's like going back to that place of where can you just explore without saying, am I doing this right? That's really the space we want to get back into for our creativity. So it's like you have to get to know yourself again. And so how can you do that? First of all, notice when you're starting to get in these stressed places and they're a contraction. What's the opposite of a contraction? An expansion. So if you're hunkering down this way, the opposite of a position this way would be something up. And in fact, this particular pose, like a big victory V, is amazing for the nervous system. Can you feel that? It's awesome. It really brings energy in and then all the way down to your feet in the earth. It's really, really powerful. You tie that with one of these breaths that I have and see if you don't notice a shift. So if you will come with me, you're going to imagine that you're going to take a breath from way overhead, and it's going to come slowly through your brain, through your throat, through your heart, through your solar plexus, deep into your belly, and let your belly get big like Santa or Buddha, just nice and big. Thanksgiving dinner, nice and big. Now exhale it down through your legs, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your feet, deep into Mother Earth, deep into Mother Earth. Let her clean it up, supercharge it up with all her life-giving energies, and up through your feet. Inhale through your knees, inhale through your thighs, deep into the belly. The belly is your creative center. It's your nurturing center. Let that warm it up, and exhale up through your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your brain, out through your top of your head, out to wherever feels wonderful to you. Bring your imagination into this. And up from the top, it can be angels or sparkles, it doesn't matter, or just plain magic energy through your head, in through your throat, through your heart, deep into the solar plexus. This is important. Down into your belly, nice and big and round. Now exhale down through your legs, down through your feet, deep into Mother Earth, and then bring it up from Mother Earth, up through your legs, deep into the belly. Let it feel good. Hold it. Now even slower, exhale out through your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your brain, and up at the top of your head. Now just for a moment, notice if any particular place was tight, and I want you to put some loving energy around it, like you're just going to give it a little bit of hug. We're going to do that again, and I want you to bring the energy right through that spot. So from overhead, through the brain, through the throat, through the heart, wherever your spot is, your solar plexus, and deep into the belly, your belly and your spot. Inhale so big, it's bigger than your belly, it's bigger than your body, and it just is bringing in all the energy from around. And as you exhale down through the thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, how far into the earth can you go? What wonderful things are down there? Is it a big shiny crystal or just dirt and wonderful, wonderful roots? It doesn't matter. Whatever you have is fine. And inhale back up from that through the feet, through the legs. Deep into the belly, nice big stretch. And then up through the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, and out the head. While you're doing that, continue to breathe at your own pace and just notice if there's anything, a place that needs a little bit of extra love. Bring your mental attention to it. Let this vibration go in and soothe it. everybody sleeping? I hope so. Hope it gave you a chance to take a big breath in. Just very gently take your fingertips and rub the other hand. Just very, very gently. And notice the amazing amount of sensation, even though it's just very, very gentle. Let this be the sensitivity you bring to yourself to listen to your own inner workings up on the inside. Good. Take a little bit bigger breath, because I would love to take some questions and also just share a little bit about when you take the brave step to know what your heart really is telling you to do, your whole life changes. It changes in ways that you can't imagine. It changes in ways that are wonderful and scary, and we like to change that a little bit to scare-sighted so that you can just kind of shift the energy on that a little bit. And if you can work with your mind, if you can work with the emotions and the heart, if you can work with all of those instincts and feelings in your wisdom center so that you know them well enough to know how to get them to talk to each other. I think the single biggest thing that stops creativity is when we shut parts of ourselves down and say, oh, this part is bad, or oh, that part is bad. And when you do that, you're actually cutting off a part of yourself, and you need all of this particular instrument that you came in to be creative. We need all pieces of it, because how many people I have told stories that came out of abject pain, abject, just incredible, yes, so many incredible hardship, and that they've come through on the other side, and on the other side there's amazing stuff. So this summer was probably the hardest summer I ever had, and it's nothing compared to what other people have, but for me it was. I lost 3 beloveds within a month. There was my father, there was my horse, and then there was all the ribbons around here. There was my beautiful Tinkerbell, my Yorkshire Terrier, 8-time national agility champion. And I knew that that one was going to be hard. I just knew that that was just going to be awful. So I had been looking for skills ahead of time so that I could be prepared for what was going to happen. And it really made me think and wonder, why do we wait until we get on stage or till we get in that place before we start preparing to have the skills to overcome? And so with that in mind, practicing the breathing like I'm sharing with you, practicing the centering like I'm sharing with you, I have come to learn that grief and stage fright and having a conversation with somebody that's difficult, all of these things really have the same center core that you need to work on, which is to learn to know A, who you are, and B, to center back into your connection to all that is, to the life that makes us alive. We're not out there. We search for our peace out there. It's not out there. It's in here. But our society so much has said, oh no, you have to have something out there make you better. Well, there are circumstances like these wonderful bowls and like this amazing summit that brings us back to our creativity, which assists, but the real work is you. I mean, does a doctor heal you? Does a medicine heal you? No, your body heals you. We heal ourselves. And that healing needs to start coming with acceptance of all parts of us, the good and the bad. And actually, I just like to take all that and throw it in the big ocean, because if you take the judgment off energy, and a good emotion is just a lighter vibration. A bad emotion is just a denser vibration. And if all life is a cycle where you start and it's like spring, and then you have summer, and then it starts to decay again in fall, and then you have the void, which is winter, that continues to go upward, these cycles are necessary. You can't just say, okay, I'm only going to stay in one, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go. It's not possible. Life's going to take you along with it. It's bigger than we are. So if you can learn to accept and acknowledge these cycles that we go through and embrace what it comes with it, life all of a sudden becomes a different color. It's like the grief for me was very grounding of so much love I've had in my life. So much love. And people told me before, oh, you're going to find love out of grief. And I thought they were all nuts. I thought that's just a lot of hooey. No one's ever going to do that. But the truth is, in the practices of breathing and hugging those places inside of us that hurt and allowing us to express them. You know, maybe in a pillow, I did a lot of yelling in a pillow, but in that encompassing the whole you, that little person inside of you was way young a long time ago, was probably the one who said, oh, don't sing, you should take science. Oh, those people just, oh, don't get me started. But that little person still exists somewhere. That emotion got shut off and caught in your body somewhere. So if we can, through love, the most expanding of emotions, give it that I love you anyway. What can I give you? What can we do now? Or have crystal bowls or wonderful sounds or any of the things like beautiful artwork. As you can tell, I love colors. I don't know what life would be without colors. And the different ways that appeal to you, it starts to expand these hurt places in our body. And if while you're hugging it, you can do this breath that we've shared. You know, this is called a central channel breath by my mentor and just dear, dear, dear friend, Dr. Sue Morter, and her energy codes work. Her work is so incredible. Her transmission she does once a month, her free ones, 95 countries. She talks to 95 countries. So this has a lot of science behind it. It has a lot of energy behind it, and it has a lot of love behind it, because ultimately love is where we're at. Now, sometimes when you're expressing who you truly are, it's the pain of who you are. It's like I did a series on Facebook as I was going through my thing called Healing Out Loud, and they were very vulnerable, which isn't something I was. I'm a theater kid, right? You know, so everything's da-da-da-da-da. But you can't do that when you're in the middle of grief. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so being honest and really true with what happens is really the first step to allowing that creativity to come out. Because I'll bet all of you, when you're in your most creative spot, there's nothing else going on but you, but that. You're in the moment. It's an experience. It's a feeling. It's like you're transported to a different time, a different dimension. And that ability first starts coming with your ability to come in and to allow the space, to give yourself permission, to give yourself that opening. It's like to feel, where is it tight? What's the opposite of tight? Open, open, bowls, open, music, open, yay me, open. Change the energy up. The moment you notice that you're going down one of those rabbit holes of, oh, I can't do that. Yeah, she can do it. She's been doing it a long time. I can't do it. Say, oh, I noticed I was going down the rabbit hole. Yay me, I noticed. And what have you done? You've changed the energy in a section, so now you can make the single most powerful thing we can do, a choice. You can make a choice to continue and do the thing you've always done, or to do something different. Because Mr. Yappy Brain here, Mr. Monkey Mind, can't fight with your choice. Why? Because choice is in the present tense. Mr. Yappy Mind only lives back in the past or out in the future somewhere. He can't live in the present. So when you play, when you really get present in what are you feeling, and I really invite you to go into feeling into a level you never have before, it's extraordinarily opening for the creativity. Other things are like an Epsom salt bath. You can get in, dump a bunch of Epsom salts in. I like bubbles too. Turn the lights down low. You can have some nice music, a candle. And I got one of those little pillows from the drugstore with a little tear cloth on it, blows it out. And I just stay until the water gets cold. And we're electromagnetic beings as well, and it soothes that system like you can't believe. The key word that I would say for those of you who want to open up your creativity is nurture. If you can nurture yourself with your sounds, with your colors, with kind thoughts to yourself, with speaking in the positive things that you want to create, not the things that you want to avoid, you're going to have just an amazing, amazing opening and an experience. And this one little sentence, I wonder what's possible, when you're thinking like, I'm not going to get this done. I just recently started an online business, and can I tell you how not techy I am? Can I tell you how much tech there is in online business? So every so often, that comes out going, I go, okay, I wonder what's possible. And I was especially playing with that this week. 3 of the online classes I took answered questions that were exactly what I needed them to answer. And life starts working in this way when you allow the possibility. But if you have the possibility, oh, it's not going to work, nothing ever goes my way, that's kind of what you're drawing to you. Remember the party where you went in and someone was going, meep, meep, meep? Who's going to go over there? Only anybody else who's going, meep, 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 wants to stay there. The person who's having a good time, that's where the party's going to go. Well, we do that ourselves with our life. If you're looking into possibility, if you're being open into that, if you're embracing whatever's going on for you at that time. Oh my goodness, did I cry? I didn't think the tears were ever going to stop. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to breathe again either. I took stock out in Kleenex, just kidding. But, you know, it's in those times, if you allow yourself to feel your feelings, to really, really nurture and embrace, the person who's hurting inside you is still you. It's a piece of you, it's an aspect of you, and if you try and cut it out, you're not whole. So how can you be that beautiful conduit of creativity? Another thing with the creativity, I like to tell my singers, let the song sing you. Let your artistry come through you. Let it tell you how it wants to be. That puts you in both a space of receptivity and a space of creativity, and you're actually co-creating. You're co-creating. If you think about imagination and thoughts come through your mind, where did they come from? I mean, we can talk about this a long time, but there's a thought out there that says that all thoughts, everything exists. It's just your ability to open up and tune into it. So if everything exists, how about relax, open up, and listen, and start to have possibility. If you're thinking it only is coming from your brain, you're never going to get very far, because this is just like 1/3 of the equation, right? Head brain, heart brain, gut brain. We want them to work together. These two don't speak in English, so you have to give this one's job to say, what are you feeling? And then that feeling of loving, that feeling of embracing can come into whatever else you're doing. Did you want to ask me questions or read anything going on? Because I would love to close out with with one of these as people pass out, you know. Yeah. If there's anything in the chat, because I can't see it from here.
No, I mean, just tons of compliments, Diann. Your voice is so soothing, and people are feeling so much more grounded now. So
Yay.
You are just so masterful at your craft.
Thank you so much. Well, what I want to offer, because I still want to go out playing the bowls and so forth, is that once a month I have a free Sunday sound bath and chat, and it's very much like this. I'll probably leave these babies set up because I promised Scott from our last time that I would play the grandmother and the grandfather bowls for them. And then we'll probably end up moving up in here because this feels seasonally like what we had. I must say I played this side of the table during the whole time that I was coming out of my major grief session. And I cannot tell you how much they uplifted me and they moved me. And yeah, anyway. So, and what else? I'm doing a class right now called Stage Confidence from Nervous to Noteworthy in 6 weeks. I think we're on about week 3. And I'll be offering it again, I believe, in January. It works on this sorts of stuff. It really works on, let's get inner, let's talk about your mental tools, let's talk about your emotional tools, because emotions are energy in motion. And if you don't label them as good or bad, they're just one's more grounding or tense or denser, one's more lighter and up, and you can learn to feel them and embrace all of those. Radical acceptance. If you can have that radical acceptance, you're going to find your energy shifts, your way of being shifts. Oh, I need to share one more thing with you. This was an old theater game, but it's a really quick thing to do when you really feel off your center. Dr. Sue calls it subject, object, subject, and you may have called it something different in your theater class. But the first is subject is you. It's like, go ahead and pat your hands or your arms or take a big deep breath and notice where you are, what you're feeling like. Just take a little notice of it. Okay. Now, once you're feeling that energy kind of all popped up, take it. And I want you to take it and I want you to pick something out there. It can be just an object or it can be something that's bugging you or something that you don't like. Just kind of notice that thing over there and just get a good picture. It could be neutral, it could be the lamp. And so take all your energy up and I want you to just throw it at that thing and just notice that thing and it's bugging you or whatever. Notice. And notice in your body, do you feel the same? Most people feel a little bit off balance. So now what I want you to do is take all that energy back. Bring it back on yourself. Big deep breath, pat your legs, pat your arms, get yourself back here. I'm here. Now, come behind your eyes and look out at that thing again. It's still there, but how do you feel? It's probably not tipping you over as much, right? So you can practice this anytime all day long. Don't wait till you need it. You're driving in your car, throw your energy on the stoplight. Bring it back. Just get used to playing with your energy in that way, and it makes a really big difference. You probably notice yourself playing with your energy all the time anyway as you're going to the store and there's somebody who looks kind of, oh, I don't know about you. Bring your energy in. Or, oh, there's my friend! So we play with it anyway, and if you can be conscious about it, you're starting to pocket tools so that you can adjust your energy, play with your energy, do things with your energy to move it specifically in different times, in different places. So that's called subject, object, subject. So we have our central channel breath from overhead into the belly, slow, down into the earth, back up into the belly. We have our tighten your neck and then loosen your neck to notice. Tighten your neck, breathe. It's hard, loosen your neck. Hands on the belly and breathe low. That's a quick one you can do pretty much anywhere. And you have your celebration move when you catch yourself doing something, maybe you wish you weren't otter, which is whatever you want, but I like, yay, me! And if you can put a sound with it like, I'm cool, I rock, I'm the queen, whatever it is, the king, doesn't matter, whatever floats your boat, absolutely. It's going to be powerful. And I know I have some of my serious types who say, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. Well, that's exactly why you should do it. So big victory V for you, and a yes I am, and let's go. So any other questions anybody has, or I will take you. Yeah, so that was the course, and it was the sound bath. I have a free gift for you. I think if you clicked on something, you would have got it. And at the end, I just figured out how to do just before this class. If you go to moments, moments, access, what was it, my or your, hang on. I think it's Access Your Gift, yes. AccessYourGift.com. I have another, it's a little more expansive sound bath. It's about 9 minutes, and it takes you a little bit more out on the edge of expansion, and which is kind of fun. And I really hope you can come to the sound bath. It's easy to reach me. It's my name, Diann, D-I-A-N-N, no E, D-I-A-N-N, at DiannAlexander.com. It's really easy to reach me. And there's a website there, and just let me know if you want to join in on other things. I would love to have you come and be a part of the sound bath. And if you want to work farther, there's going to be some really incredible offerings, because my creativity and my true love has been to bring the bulls, to bring confidence, and to bring creativity and the voice together. And whereas hopefully it will get a little more organized, it really doesn't matter. If you feel better than when you walked in, I did my job. So, any questions, any comments? Otherwise, we're going again. Thanks, Chris.
That was great.
Thank you
I
so
love the
much.
bulls, how I felt when you did that. You are awesome.
You are awesome. Thank you so much. Anything else anybody has to say? So someone, the first person who unmutes and tells me what color to start with, I'll start with that color bowl.
Red.
Well, I don't have a red bowl. I do have a blue bowl. I actually have 4 blue bowls. Okay. So take a nice deep breath in. Feel open this time. Like instead of feeling tight, see if you can find space. If your neck is tight, see if you can melt it a little bit. See if you can soften where your spine is. It's like the spine is tall and relaxed and aligned, but see if you can soften your muscles, relax your muscles. Allow a space for that creativity to come in. Allow a space for you just to be. You don't have to do anything. Nice big breath in and Blessings to you all. Thank you for playing.
Thank you, Diann. You're amazing as usual.
Thank you, Diann.